Yes.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
We're all here. Give us the agendas.
I'm just confused and how it works and everything's still in it.
Anybody? It should go faster.
Yeah. Well, yes, I studied it all, but. But I didn't have time.
Yeah, Michael Howell. 476. I'm assuming it's gonna be uncontested. You'll see a lot of them before that, but. Yeah, no, it's not like Swati to be. Well, didn't have a forum, so I suppose we could start.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we'll. I guess we're just gonna start with four. You know, I'm not sure where Swati is. There she is. Oh, here we go. Are you ready, Donna? Okay. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the November 15, 2024 meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. My name is Brian Sanchez, and I am the chairman of the ZBA. With me today are Commissioners Swati Staley and Angela Brooks to my left, and Commissioners Adrian Soto and Helen Schiller to my right. I'd like to call this meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals to order. I will take a roll call vote to establish quorum. Commissioner Staley.
Present.
Commissioner Brooks.
Present.
Commissioner Soto.
Present.
Commissioner Schiller.
Present.
I am present. Quorum is established. The minutes of October's meeting have been distributed. Unless there are corrections, I move that we approve the minutes as distributed. Commissioner Schiller seconds. Commissioner Staley. Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller. I vote yes. The minutes are approved. I move to approve today's agenda. Commissioner Schiller seconds. Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the agenda is approved. Now we'll take any continuances or withdrawals.
Morning, Chairman, members of the board. My name is Jimena Castro. I'm the zoning attorney at Acosta Esker. I'm here to continue as you have received my 3-day notice for motion to continue. The case on page 4, address 1626 South Halsted Street. We complied with the 3-day motion to continue per the rules. And I was advised to also ask for the continuance on the record.
Yes.
So I would like to ask for a continuance.
Mr. Commissioner, sorry, I'm not quite sure how these meetings work. I'm in opposition to the variance, and we're ready to go today, in opposition. So I guess I want to oppose the continuance and say the opposition is ready to go.
And what's the basis?
We got warning, I mean, we took today off of work. There's 3 of us here. We prepared our case. We were only communicated to by counsel, I think 3 days ago, after we sent out communication weeks before, if not months. So we're ready to go. But
Okay.
understand all needs.
Okay.
Could I get a name, please?
Yeah,
Erling Wubauer. My address is 1627 South Newberry, directly behind the proposed variance.
could you spell your last name for the record?
Absolutely. WU dash B as in boy, OWER. Also, there's 2 more in opposition along with me.
All right, this is calendar number 46224Z, correct? Okay. The request for the continuance for calendar number 46224Z will be granted over the objection. Calendar number 46224Z will be continued to January 17, 2025, the 2 p.m. call, and no further notice will be given.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Counselor?
Chairman, Nick Fatikas, Law Offices of Sam Banks, here on page 5, the bottom of the page, it's 46824S, 46924Z, and then 47024Z. Unfortunately, my client is unavailable to attend. I got last minute notice his unavailability, so I'm able to, I didn't know going into the hearing that we're gonna be seeking a continuance. We'll take the earliest possible date that the board has.
Okay, calendar numbers 46824S, 46924Z, and 47024Z will be continued to January 17, 2025, the 2 p.m. call, and no further notice will be given.
Thank you.
Any other continuances or withdrawals? All right, seeing none, Victor, please call the first case.
First case, 41924Z, 2941 West Morris Avenue.
All right, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings? Thank you very much. Let's see here. Counsel, would you like to provide a brief overview of the application?
Sure. For the record, Fred Augustine, starting with the law of Sam Banks, located 221 with the cell. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Aaron Topper. Aaron owns the property. It's currently vacant. He'd like to redevelop it for a new single-family residence for him and his family. In order to do that home, we are seeking variations to reduce the setback, 34.48 feet to 20.09 feet, reduce the west side setback from 8.5 to 7.49 feet. Reduce the combined setback to 25.53 feet, as well as increase the FAR from 0.65 to 0.66. Overview of hardship. Lot, it's only 123 feet deep. Even though the city map shows there is a public alley back there, the alley is not used. So there is no access to the alley. It's a short lot. Those conditions pose a hardship of trying to comply with our required site plan. So here with me this morning is Aaron Topper, the owner, as well as our architect, Jonathan Truss, and we're here to answer any questions the board may have.
for the applicant's witnesses, do you all affirm that the written application submitted is still true and correct? Okay, thank you. All documents submitted for this matter are entered into the record. Does the board have any questions? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case, 44624S, 1018 North Ashland Avenue.
All right, but everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
I do.
Thank you very much. Counselor, a brief overview.
Thank you. Again, Nick Fatikas from the Law Offices of McCann Banks. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, as well as Salon and Spa Incorporated. The applicant is leasing for a retail unit at 1018 North Ashland Avenue, and she's proposing to establish a full-service hair salon within that space. We're seeking a special use because the subject property is located in the P1 zoning district. This is one of the personal service use within 1,000 feet of the subject site. We have our two witnesses on behalf of the applicant, Ms. Mandy Williams, and our MA appraiser, Mr. Joe Ryan. Chairman, happy to answer any questions.
Sure. Does the, first of all, the board recognizes Mr. Ryan's expertise. Do the witnesses affirm the written application materials submitted in this matter? Okay, those materials are entered into the record. Does the board have any questions? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you. Oh, that's right. Yeah, hold on. Well, I forgot you, I'm going so fast, I forgot to read the recommendation. This is the recommendation for counter number 44624S. The Department of Planning and Development recommends approval of the proposed hair salon. That was DPD's recommendation. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next case, 44724S, 75 East 43rd Street.
Counter number 44724S. Yeah, maybe check and see.
Okay, we're looking for. Thank you. Okay, you're calling. Here we go.
Come in.
Sit down. Yep, you're.
Morning, sir. Could you state your name and address for the record, please?
Dale Bruce,
Address?
75 East 43rd Street.
Okay. Would you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Fernando, would you like to read the department's recommendation for counter number 44724S? So I doesn't have to do it. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. All right, sir, so you are here to open up a barber shop, correct?
Yes.
And do you affirm that all of the written application materials you submitted are still true and correct?
Yes.
Excellent. Those materials are going to be submitted into the record. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience in the barbershop business?
Been cutting since I was about 14. And I worked through several shops throughout Chicago. And now I'm looking to open at Avalon.
Okay, and you're a licensed barber?
Mm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Just for the record.
Yeah.
Okay, and what are the hours that you intend on keeping?
8 to 7 o'clock.
Is that gonna be 7 days a week?
Yes.
All right, are you planning on having any employees?
Yes,
Okay, and will you make sure that those employees are also licensed barbers? Okay, are there any questions from the board?
no,
We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Next case, 448-24S, 2105 West Division.
Morning, could you state your name for the record, please?
Yes, my name is Dan Top, I'm the property owner of 2105 West Division Street.
Okay, and ma'am,
My wife,
okay, is she also going to testify today?
yes,
Okay, could you state your name for the record, please?
Last name VO, first name NGA, yeah.
Okay. Could both of you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
yes,
Thank you very much. Do both of you affirm that the written materials submitted in this matter are still true and correct?
yes.
Okay, I do have a recommendation from the Department of Planning and Development that recommends approval of the salon. Could you tell us a little bit about your experience in the nail salon business?
Yeah, we been doing nail salon for 30 years. We own and operate a nail salon at Woodfield Mall. And then one at 111 West Washington recently, just across the street.
Okay.
So.
So adding another
Yes.
one?
Yeah.
Excellent. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Next case, 449-24S, 3137 West Montrose. Janine? Next time.
Yeah. Okay, next slide, please.
All right, could you state your name and address for the record, please?
Sure, my name is Jennifer Holly Padilla. The address is 3137 West Montrose Avenue.
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Do you affirm that the written application materials submitted with this matter are still true and correct?
Yes.
Excellent. Those materials will be admitted into the record. I do have in my hand a recommendation for the from the Department of Planning and Development for calendar number 44924S that recommends approval of the proposed massage establishment. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience in the massage business?
Sure. I've been a massage therapist for over 22 years. I originally practiced in small town Colorado. Moved to Chicago in July to be closer to my son. And I've been a business owner myself. I've worked in various spas, massage franchises. So I have experience with the physiological end of things. I've worked with chiropractors, physical therapists.
Okay. Are there any questions from the board? We're gonna take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm sorry, ma'am, actually, if you could just come back for 1 second. Okay, okay. All right, well, let me just, okay. With regard to, the Department of Planning and Development's recommendation, they did, put some conditions on it. One of those being that the establishment maintains clear, non-reflective windows on the street-facing building facade, which shall not be painted over, darkened, or obstructed in any way so that the reception and waiting area is visible from the street. Are you aware of that recommendation?
I am.
Okay, and you're going to comply with that condition? Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Next case, 450-24 Z 906 North Carlo.
All right. Okay. All right, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you very much. And this is calendar number 450-24 Z, correct? 906 North Karlov? Okay, do all of you affirm that the written application submitted with this matter is still true and correct?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So this is, well, just for the record, the written materials will be submitted into the record. From what I could see, this is your rebuilding an existing concrete front porch and expanding the second floor. Is that what's happening here?
Basically, it's rebuilding the front porch that was prior concrete into wood and increasing the second floor.
Okay, could you state your name and address for the record, please?
Loren Morario, 906 North Karlov. I'm the architect.
Okay, okay. Now, was the work for this matter already done?
Yes, so in the matter of the front porch, the concrete was in bad condition, so the owner took it upon himself to kind of take it apart. And so we're back into the city to make those revisions.
Okay.
The same thing with the second floor.
Okay, did the applicant, did you get cited by the Department of Buildings, or did you get some kind of violation?
Yeah, but to make the revision back into.
Okay, okay. Because I did want to note that there is a section in the application that asks if you've been cited for any building code violations, and the answer was no to that question.
Let me confirm.
Yeah.
Si viste una carta de edificio que construcción muy lejos. No, I'm sorry, was no.
Okay.
No.
So what was it that facilitated you coming to the zoning board? How did you know that you needed this relief?
It is. Oh, okay, so when they went to the second floor, because we had plans to rehab this property prior. And when they went to the second floor, they didn't approve that. Because he expanded a bit. So he said, make a revision back into the city.
Okay, but it didn't actually involve a citation.
No citation.
Okay,
Just gonna stop the permit. and the
Okay.
process.
okay. Well, it is, it's always better to get approval first
Sure.
before coming to ask for forgiveness.
Absolutely.
But with that being said, are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Thank you so much.
Next case, 451-24 S 1875 North Milwaukee Avenue. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, okay. All right, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes.
Okay, Counselor,
Yes,
can you provide a brief overview of this application?
absolutely. We're looking at getting stuff fees for 1875 North Milwaukee. My clients at Holy Cobra LLC have been in business both as tax lawyers for 15 years apiece. They've worked at their current location in Chicago for 4.5 years, and they want to move out into our space. The immediately next to it is a barber shop, and they know the barber, and the barber shop is welcoming and thinks it'll be a good fit to have them next door versus a vacant space. And we have a lease pending on that space, pending approval.
Do the applicants affirm that the materials submitted with this matter are still true and correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Those materials will be admitted into the record. I also do have a recommendation from the Department of Planning and Development for calendar number 45124S that recommends approval. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.
Oh, Counselor, could you state your name for
Yes,
the
for
record?
the record, Todd Stevens, Stephens. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Next four cases, 45224S, 45324Z, 45424Z, 4400 West North Avenue.
Yeah. I get this.
Expand or read, you know.
Mhm.
This makes it a little bit so we have such a small.
Right, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
I do.
Thank you very much. The board recognizes Mr. O'Brien's expertise. I do have a recommendation from the Department of Planning and Development for counter number 45224S that recommends approval of the gas station. Counselor Fatikas, brief overview.
Thank you, sir. So again, Nick Fatikas from the law offices of Sam Banks. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Grand Amico Car Wash Incorporated. The applicant leases the equipment property at 2400 West North Avenue. The 17,598 square foot site currently operates with a gas station, car wash, and an accessory retail store. The applicant is proposing to renovate the station and ultimately relocate and expand the footprint of the retail convenience store. A special use is required because the proposed store expansion will exceed 25% of the existing floor area total. The applicant is also seeking companion variations for the project because of the subject property's triangular shape and non-conforming lot area total. Again, we have our three witnesses present who've already been sworn in. We did work with the city for about a year on the plan details to bring the sidewalks, the driveways, and vehicle access points into full compliance. It's clearly a existing non-conforming condition, but we believe that the application will bring those details into compliance. And again, we're happy to answer any questions you or the board members have.
Sure. And could you maybe just, I think what we're gonna do is at least have the witnesses introduce their names for
Oh,
the
I'm
record.
sorry. Yeah, I wasn't, okay. So on behalf of the applicant, we have Tito Condra Alali. I apologize for that. We have our project architect, Hector Castillo, and our MAI designated appraiser, Mr. Terrence O'Brien.
Okay, and do all of the applicant's witnesses affirm that the materials submitted with this application are still true and correct?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Those materials are admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement.
Thank you, sir.
Next case, 45524Z, 5320 North Oriole.
All right, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much. Councilor Fatikas.
Thank you, sir. Again, for the record, Nick Fatikas, Law Offices of Sam Banks. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Joseph Bardijan. Our applicant owns and resides at the subject property at 5320 North Boreal Avenue. As you can see from the survey, the subject lot is irregularly shaped and it's a corner lot. It measures 51 feet, 51.94 feet wide along North Boreal, approximately 101 feet in depth along West Summerdale, and it narrows to 47.4 feet at the rear. So it's actually a substandard lot as when measured along the Summerdale property line. The lot is improved with a two-story single-family home and a detached garage. In 2002, the applicant pulled permits to construct a new garage. During construction, the applicant went beyond the scope of the permit and relocated the front door that was formerly on Summerdale to North Boreal. Because the home's footprint did not change, that zoning relief was not required for that change. Clearly, a permit would have been required, but no zoning relief would have been required. However, the applicant constructed a new front porch. If you go back to the photo, I'm sorry, at the front of the home. The front porch is less than 4 feet above grade. It's open on 3 sides. The encroachment that we're seeking to bring into compliance is the covered portion, the roof. That's what needs a permit. The footprint of the home has remained the same. The door, you can actually see from that photo, the door used to be on that side of the property where the middle window is on the first floor. The idea was that's the shorter side, so it's only 9 feet from the sidewalk. The idea was to relocate it to the front and basically continue the pattern of fronts along Boreal. Admittedly, a permit was required. However, the feature that the variation solves for is the covered portion of the porch.
Right.
The hardship, the fact that the work was done without a permit is not the basis of our hardship. The hardship is the irregular lot size and shape, the 101-foot dimension, as well as the existing footprint of the buildings that are permitted on the lot. Those are regardless of the work being done with or without permits, those conditions are the basis for our hardship request.
Sure, and I don't know if you were here just a minute ago, but I have to say it every time. It's never a good idea to do work without permits. And, this one happens to be, I think, not that bad, but, this could be a real problem for you sometimes. You don't want to be coming to us asking for approval.
100%.
So, with that, are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Next case, 456-24S, 4666 North Lincoln.
So it's really the luxury.
It's his own rules.
Cases that I call, take a seat. Quick, everybody. Oh, maybe they
This next one, I think, is Scott Borstein, I think is for this next one. There he is.
Thank you. Yeah, you guys can see now. I recall.
Okay, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
I do.
Thank you very much. The board recognizes Mr. O'Brien's expertise, Counselor, can you provide a brief overview of this matter?
Yes, we will be brief, thank you. Sorry for the confusion, the system.
No worries.
Anyways, Scott Borstein, from the law office of Neil and Leroy here on behalf of the Public Building Commission, joined by Cal Lejeune, Director of Planning, Joanne Zayden from CDOT, Dan.
Sure.
Dan Drew, our engineer from TY Lin, Terry O'Brien, is our appraiser. This project involves an existing parking lot. The address is 4666 North Lincoln Avenue. CDOT is undertaking a larger project in this area, but specifically as it relates to this lot. But I think you'll have seen in the application, there's significant aesthetic improvements, including complying with the landscape code, so adding a lot of new landscaping, repaving, new lighting. The technical aspect of why we're here is because this portion of Lincoln Avenue is a pedestrian street. And this is a non-accessory public parking lot. And when you need a building permit to improve something like that, you have to get a special use in order to do it. So, I'm so sorry. So, get all our calls right directly to us at any time. In any case, so, the project has gone through extensive community engagement. It actually goes back even to when the original master plan for this part of Lincoln Square was adopted in 2019. There's been talks of this project. CDOT's done some other improvements and currently doing other improvements and has been talking about this. So there's been a lot of community interaction. We got a letter from the alderman indicating his support. Let's see what else is important for you to know. I think that's basically it. So, all I would just say,
So do all of the applicants' witnesses affirm that the application materials submitted for this matter are still true and correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Those materials are admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement.
thanks so much.
Thank you. Oh, actually, and one other thing, I do have a recommendation from the Department of Planning and Development for counter number 45624S that does recommend approval.
Perfect. Thank you.
Next case is 45724S, 45824S.
Do we have any objectors for this matter? This is counter numbers 457 and 45824S. No? Okay. I don't see anybody.
The other matter that I'm representing later on the calendar,
Which one?
Unity Parenting.
Ashley? Ashley?
Yes. Yeah. That would make more sense.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay, all right, let me just go here. All right, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
I do.
Thank you very much. The board recognizes Mr. Garrett's expertise. I do have in my hand recommendations from the Department of Planning and Development for 457 and 45824S that recommends approval. Counselor, could you provide a brief overview of this matter?
Of course. Thank you. My name is Mariah Debrino with the law firm of DLA Piper, representing the applicant in this matter, the owner of the building in Stratford, which is one of the iconic apartment buildings west of Whitford Drive in Union Park. The applicant proposes to renovate existing restaurant space on the basement and ground floor levels of the existing 16-story building to establish a residential support rest service, which is a restaurant space exceeding 5,000 square feet, as well as a 613 square foot at-grade patio for the restaurants. The proposal involves the new use of existing restaurant space that was previously authorized by a special use, in combination with a smaller restaurant space that was not previously part of the special use because it didn't require one, it was too small. The restaurant space will occupy approximately 8,373 square feet. The property is currently zoned RM 6.5 residential multi-unit district, located on the west side of North Lincoln Park West. Again, it's a 16-story basement with basement residential building containing 209 dwelling units and existing residential support service uses in the basement and ground floor. I have the applicant representative, the architect representative of the tenant operator, and of course, Mr. Jarrett as well. Any questions?
Yeah, could you just introduce by name the witnesses here?
So to my left is Ted Fahey with the applicant, Mansueto Belden Stratford LLC. To his left is Walter Hainsfurther, the project architect. To Walter's left is Stephen Galanders of SMG Group, the proposed tenant operator.
And you've got Mr. Jarrett as well, correct?
We do.
Okay. Do the applicant's witnesses affirm that the application materials submitted for this matter are still true and correct?
I do.
Thank you very much. Those materials are admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Going slightly out of order, case 460 24S 7118 West Higgins.
So I get it.
Got it. All right, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes.
I do.
Thank you very much. The board recognizes Mr. Ryan's expertise. Counselor, brief overview, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Patrick Turner with offices in Elmhurst, Illinois, and I represent the applicant at a Salon and Spa LLC. The applicant is currently leasing the subject property consisting of approximately 1,200 square feet, first floor commercial space in the building at 7118 West Higgins. Georgetta Pervolari, forgive me,
That's all right.
is the manager of the applicant. The applicant seeks a special use to establish a hair and nail salon. It is located within 1,000 feet of an existing personal service establishment located in the B31 Community Shopping District. Georgetta is a licensed cosmetologist, and she will manage the store. And will be the only employee initially. She plans to hire additional hairstyle and nail technicians if and when appropriate. That's a brief overview. I have Georgetta and I have Mr. Ryan available to testify. I'd be glad to put the witnesses on if that is what Mr. Chairman wants.
No, for the witnesses, do both of you affirm that the materials submitted with this application are still true and correct?
Yes.
Okay, those materials are admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next case 461 24Z 1815 West Portland.
Actually, before I let you 460 go, I also do have for the record a recommendation from the Department of Plan and Development for 460 24S does recommend approval.
Thank you.
Yes. Right, would everyone plan to testify? Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes.
Right, Counselor Castro, can you provide a brief overview and introduce your witnesses by name?
Yes, for the record once more, my name is Jimena Castro, zoning attorney at Costa Esker. Here with me today is one of the owners of the property, Jeff Kroll, and to his right is one of the architects for the project, Radu Alexa.
Okay.
I don't need to, should they state their address?
No.
Okay, got it. The subject property is located in an RS3 zoning district in an area improved with residential uses that include garage roof decks with perpendicular garage roof deck access stairs as shown in the different photo exhibits. The subject property is a two-story single-family residence with a rear open stair deck and a detached two-car garage. The existing rear deck on the west side of the property encroaches onto the west side setback and is a pre-existing condition, as you can see. That's the applicant purchased the lot. In 2007, the previous owners of the property had a permit approved to construct perpendicular stairs to access the garage roof deck, as also submitted to the board. If you recall those drawings, proposed to add the garage access stairs on the eastern side of the lot, further reducing the available ground floor rear yard open space. The construction for those plans were never commenced. The applicants seek to construct a garage and roof deck and pergola to expand their family's outdoor living spaces and are proposing perpendicular access stairs from the existing western side stair deck. The placement of the stairs in that location is an improvement from the previously approved 2007 drawings, as it will maximize rear yard living space. If the stairs were constructed in a Hopkins style manner parallel to the garage, it would cut into the required 15-foot diameter of the rear yard open space. So we're just trying to maintain as much rear yard open space without triggering another delineation. And
Flow
also,
is just better too.
yes, yes. And the applicants can also provide the setback because if you can see, the garage is over 4 feet. And one of the hardships is the height of the deck. So because the garage is in existing condition and we're building on top of it, that is another hardship on this piece. We have neighbor support, letters of support have been provided to the board. We also have an email from the Alderman staff recommending that we seek a variation. We sought a rezoning at one point and he recommended that we come before you to present this case. So we are seeking a favorable recommendation.
All right, for the applicant's witnesses, do both of you affirm that the materials submitted with this matter are still true and correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay, those materials are admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next three cases, 463-24Z, 464-24Z, 465-24Z, 3907 South King Drive.
This one?
Yeah.
All right, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings? Thank you very much. The board recognizes Mr. Jarrett's expertise. Counselor, could you provide a brief overview of this matter?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. My name is Braden Lord. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Capps, Stettinius and Hollister LLP, located at 111 East Rackard Drive in Chicago. Along with my colleague Liz Butler, we represent the applicant in this matter, Wells Fargo Bank N.A. I'm joined today by Chad Hayes, Senior Construction Manager AVP for Wells Fargo, Virginia Alvarez, Senior Project Architect at Core States Group, the project architect, Mark DeMonte, Engineer and Project Manager at Core States Group, the project's civil engineer, and Jason Jarrett with Akron Kissel Associates, our land use planner and land use expert witness. The subject property located at 3907 South Martin Luther King Jr. Drive is one of several branch bank locations that Wells Fargo has planned for the Chicago area. In order to allow the construction of a single-story retail branch bank at the subject property, the applicant is requesting 3 variations. First, reduce the required front yard setback from King Drive from 9 feet to 3.6 feet. Second, to reduce the required street-facing transparent windows by 25% for the west and 22% for the north facade. And 3, to allow vehicular access to the site from King Drive, Pershing Road. Our testimony is fully set forth in the proposed findings of fact and affidavits submitted in advance of this hearing. As set forth in those materials, the requested variations are necessary to prevent practical difficulties and particular hardships due to adjacent right-of-way conditions that are unique to the subject property, information security imperatives that are unique to a retail bank, and a conflict between the applicable front setback and pedestrian street building location standards. The project will reactivate a long vacant property at the intersection of 2 active commercial corridors, remediate and beautify the site, increase job opportunities, and increase access to banking services in the neighborhood. We respectfully request your favorable consideration of the request of this matter and are available to answer any questions. We understand that some members of Alderman Dowell's staff are here and are happy to answer any questions they have as well.
Sure, and we will get to the Alderman's office in one moment here. But first, for the applicant's witnesses, do all of you affirm that the materials submitted for this matter are still true and correct?
I do.
Thank you. Those materials are entered into the record. Brian, would you like to state your name and role for this matter?
My name is Brian Friedman, Third Ward Alderman with Pat Dowell's office.
Okay, and what brings you here today?
Alderman Dowell does support the application. They've gone through an extensive community process, responded to a lot of concerns of the residents who live in the area and the commercial corridor. Come to agreements with Chairman Dowell, and we're excited to have a banking option in an underbanked neighborhood. So I think it'd be a real asset to the community. And then if you want to address the sign, Alderman Dowell is want to make sure it's in the record.
Yeah.
Other than that, as long as that's agreed to, which it has been, Alderman Dowell is happy to support this application.
Yeah, does someone want to talk about the sign that's been agreed to?
Yeah, the sign, it'll be on the exit onto the Martin Luther King Jr. That's actually a one-way street, so there's only one way to go. So that will be more than happy to sign it, and as one way and turn right on.
Okay.
No problem at all.
Okay, excellent. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Next case, 466-24S, 936 West Diversey Parkway.
No. This is calendar number 466. Barber Rocks LLC.
Here, you can sit down too. Sit down. Yeah.
All right, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings? Thank you very much. The board recognizes Mr. Ryan's expertise. Counselor Moore, if you could provide a brief overview and oh my God. Yeah. Overview, if you could also introduce your witnesses by name.
Thank you very much. My name for the record is Thomas S. Moore. We have with us Karina Hernandez and Mimi, also known as.
And Ilham Abdullah.
And also we have with us our landlord who had this space fully accoutramented and his tenants left. So these two ladies have been, they're both licensed cosmetologists. They've been working for other people. And he's now given them the opportunity to have their own business in a fully ready to go salon.
Great, great. Okay, for the applicant's witnesses, do both of you or all of you affirm that the materials submitted for this application are still true and correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, those materials are admitted into the record. I also do have a recommendation from the Department of Planning and Development for counter number 46624S that recommends approval of the proposed hair salon. Are there any questions from the board? I think I did. Did I swear everybody in?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, seeing no questions, we will take this matter under advisement.
And you have Mr. Ryan's report as well.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case, 467-24Z, 4201 South Normal.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You know what, let's call it a quick 5 minute, yeah, let's do that. All right. Before we hit the next case, we are gonna just take a short recess of about it's 9:57. We'll come back at 10:10. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley,
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller. I vote yes, we're in recess until 10:10. I move that we reconvene this meeting of the zoning board of appeals. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley,
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, we're back and we are on calendar number 467 24Z. All right. Would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you very much. The board recognizes Mr. Musaweer's expertise. Counselor, would you like to provide a brief overview of this matter and introduce your witnesses?
Absolutely. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. For the record, my name is Fernando Grillo. I'm an attorney with the Law Office of Grillo and Associates PC located at 161 North Clark Street, Chicago, Illinois. I'm here today on behalf of the applicant, Mr. Jorge Mancilla, who is to my left. The project architect is Mr. Luis Martinez, and our project staff and community consultant is Mr. Musa Mir. So yes, I've gone my whole life with Kareem, so maybe I should have just gone with Kareem. With Kareem, yes, the subject lot, the subject property is located 4201 South Normal Avenue. It has a zoning, a current zoning of RS-3. It measures 30 feet by 89 feet deep. It is improved with an existing 2,251 square foot, two-story, four residential dwelling building. The variation that we seek today is a variation to seek the required front setback from 5.58 feet to 1.3 feet, and the required north side setback from 2 feet to 0.55 feet. The south side setback and the combined side setback to be 6.20 feet and 6.75 feet respectively, in order to allow the reconstruction of a proposed of a front porch and a rear two-story stairs landing in an existing two-story, four-unit residential building to provide ingress and egress to the first and second floor. The hardship here is that this is an existing building on the subject property, is literally in the, right at the corner of this South Normal and 42nd Street. It is in the northwest corner of that subject lot, almost to the lot line. So the issue is that on this block, this is the size of all of the lots. And where we're replacing the front porch specifically is where it's always been. There's really nowhere else to go with it. So that's it. Just for the record, I heard in a prior case, the clarification over any existing open cases or violations. So I want to go on the record. When my client bought this property in April 2023, it was in demolition court. And so since then, we've addressed the demolition case. It's been dismissed. The city of Chicago has also dismissed, or we settled the administrative cases that were at 400 West Superior. So there are no open cases. There's an understanding that permits have been applied for, subject to your favorable approval. So we would request your favorable approval.
Okay, thank you very much. For the applicant's witnesses, do all of you affirm that the materials submitted in this matter are still true and correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Those materials are admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? Take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Subject.
Going back to case 45924S 6214 West North Avenue.
These are this one I got actually.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Gary.
Okay, with everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
I do.
Thank you very much. The board recognizes Mr. Kerwin's expertise. Counselor, if you'd like to provide a brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I have with me Bud Kerwin, who is our expert appraiser, Mr. Detective Sergeant, Detectives Hilbring, and my client, Gary Rivera. We're here on an application for a special use to convert an existing ground floor retail use tenant space into a proposed pawn shop use in an existing two-story mixed-use building. We have received the approval of the alderman, and I'm tendering a document in place that is not one in the file currently. And we are ready to answer any questions that the board may have. Okay, this is pretty straightforward. We're very proud of this project.
Okay, yeah, I do see Alderman Taliaferro is in full support. That will be entered into the record. The applicant's witnesses, do all of you affirm that the materials submitted in this matter are still true and correct?
I do. Yes.
Thank you. Those materials are admitted into the record. I do want to read the Department of Planning and Development's recommendation for this matter. This is for calendar number 45924S. Says the Department of Planning and Development recommends approval of the pawn shop, which will be relocated from 6210 West North Avenue, provided one, the special use is issued solely to the applicant, JMLL Investments LLC. Two, the development is consistent with the design and layout of the plans and drawings dated October 31, 2024, prepared by IPSA Architecture and Design. And three, the existing pawn shop use at 6210 West North Avenue has completely ceased operations, and the applicant closes the existing pawn shop license with Business Affairs and Consumer Protection prior to a new business license being issued for this applicant by BACP and before operation of the new pawn shop to begin at the new location at 6214 West North Avenue. For the applicant, do you agree to adhere to the conditions of the Department of Planning and Development?
I do.
Okay. Are there any questions from the board? To do instantaneously, they have to, yeah, they have to close the license for the old one before they can open up the new one. Yeah, as long as, yeah. Okay, are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, members of the board.
Going back to the regular order, case 472-24S, 473-24Z, 474-24Z, 6345 North Monticello. Oh. Can I skip one? Oh, yeah, okay. You wanna do 471 first, or we'll do these first? We'll do 472 first. Okay, then we'll go back. Sorry about that.
This is 472. All right, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes, you.
Thank you very much. The board recognizes Mr. Ryan's expertise. Counselor, if you could provide a brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
Great. Thank you, Chairman. Again, Nick Tikas from the Law Office of Sam Banks. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, the Shipmas Kessler Johanna, an Illinois not-for-profit corporation. The applicant actually owns the subject property at 6345 North Monticello. It's improved with a three-story mixed-use building currently containing retail space at grade and student dormitory group living rooms on floors 2 and 3. The prior retail tenant recently vacated the property, and the applicant would like to expand the dormitory use to the first floor. To do that, the applicant is seeking special use because the subject property is located in a B1 zoning district. The applicant is also seeking companion variations to reduce the off-street parking requirement and waive the landscape setback requirement along North Monticello. That relief is needed because of the irregular lot size as well as the existing building conditions on the lot. And we just don't have the room to meet that landscape setback on the Monticello side of the property. We have three witnesses available to testify. Rabbi Petrovitz, I'm so sorry, our project architect, Tristan Darcy, and our designated MAI appraiser, Mr. Joe Ryan. With that, we'd be happy to answer any questions you or the board members have. Actually, one quick point, it was referenced in our findings, but I want to just make sure, with respect to the parking reduction, the students that actually occupy the dormitory are not allowed to drive. So while it is a technical parking reduction, the need for that parking is really not there because those students would be allowed to drive anyway.
Okay, and I do have a recommendation from the Department of Plan and Development for counter number 47224S that recommends approval. For the applicant's witnesses, do all of you affirm that the materials submitted for this matter are still true and correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Those materials would be admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Going back to case 471-24S, 8356 South Pulaski.
Hey, would everyone plan to testify? Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings? Thank you. The board recognizes Mr. Ryan's expertise. Counselor, please provide a brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
And Nick Patikas for the record, I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Human Cloud Tattoo Incorporated. The applicant is a lease for the ground floor retail unit at 8356 South Pulaski Road. And we're proposing to establish a body art studio with both tattoo and piercing in that space. In order to permit the use, the applicant is seeking a special use because the subject property is located in 3-1 district. We actually have two primary witnesses, the president of the applicant, Ms. Camilla Alvarado, and our MAI appraiser, Mr. Joe Ryan. Chairman, that's a pretty straightforward presentation, but if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
Sure. I have in my hand a recommendation from the Department of Plan and Development for counter number 47124S that does recommend approval of the proposed body art service. For the applicant's witnesses, do you affirm that the materials submitted for this matter are still true and correct? Thank you. Those materials are admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Next two cases, 475-24Z, 476-24Z, 833 South Bishop.
You know, what I feel uncomfortable. That's it. All right, before we hear this matter, I just want to put on the record that I am going to recuse myself for this matter. I represent a client that is suing someone that I believe is related to Mr. Holub here. So for that reason, I'm going to recuse.
Mr. Chairman, you will be missed. Okay, I make up close. All righty. Well, now we're gonna be very patient. Okay, we are now hearing 475-24Z, 476-24Z. And everybody's gonna testify, please raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth. All that good stuff. What's the official thing? That's right. Please swear to affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings.
I do.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Now you tell us. You can do a brief overview and also introduce those who will be testifying by name.
Madam Chair, good morning. Commissioners, my name is Agnes Black. I'm an attorney with law firm of Jaffe and Lynn, located at 111 West Washington, Chicago. And I have here with me Michael Holt, the applicant in this case, and project architect John Hanna, who are ready to certify to their statements. And just a brief overview, this is a fairly straightforward case. It's a block improved with row houses. We have a very old row house, 150 years old. The applicant has lived at the property over 25 years. He's ready to finally do something about this. He's still preserving the row house, but he's hoping to add additional floor area to accommodate his family's needs. The row house is improved on a very substandard lot. We have only 20 feet of lot width, so very, very narrow lot. And in order to accomplish what he's proposing to do, he is proposing to build some additions. So we have an upper third story addition, and we have 2-story and 3-story rear addition. And the best way to actually illustrate those additions are shown on south elevations, if you want to switch to south elevations. So in any event, the upper story addition is actually set back from the front building line about 7 feet. And the rear additions, the new additions, are actually set back 1 foot from each side. However, since some of the additions are still following the existing walls, which are 0 side setbacks on both sides, here comes the need for those variations. The hardship here is fairly straightforward. We have a narrow lot, we have a substandard lot, we have existing non-conforming building built 150 years ago. So the variations are the only possible design solution to accomplish any additional floor area. He talked to his neighbors, he talked to the alderman. We actually submitted group exhibit H 9 support letters from the neighbors, and we are asking for your support.
Great. The two of you affirm that all of the written statements that were submitted are still true and correct?
I do, yes.
Information is submitted for the record, into the record. Board have any questions? Thank you.
Madam Chair, thank you so much.
Okay, for 7724 D, 1658. North 11.
He's back.
Right, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings? Yes, thank you very much. Counselor, you can provide a brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Rolando Acosta here on behalf of the applicant. The subject property, as you can see on the drawing, is improved with a single-family home and a garage to the rear of the property. The property is orange rated, and the applicant purchased the property in 2013. And in 2017, they hired a architectural firm and contractor to build a garage. The property did not have a rear garage. The architect contractor secured a permit, started construction. They noticed a series of errors by the contractor, but never noticed the error that has brought us before this board. They ultimately dismissed that contractor, hired a new contractor. They finished the garage and a deck on the side. The city did final inspections and life went on. Recently, they tried to secure a permit because they wanted to do, there's a roof deck on top of the garage. They wanted to do some improvements to the roof deck on top of the garage. And it's then that it was noticed that the garage was built too close to the alley by the original contractor by 0.85 feet, hence requiring a variation. Sorry, 0.85 feet, okay, which is inches, but less than a foot. And that the side deck is too close to the southern property line. Hardship here is obviously the location of the house, leaving limited room to locate a garage. The house is also built to the northern property line, so the deck had to be built on the southern portion of the house, and you can't really rearrange the house. Everything is laid out on the, in our submittals, including the name of the original contractor in the event the chairman wishes to have that. We believe they're now out of business, by the way, but nonetheless, we still get their name. With that, we'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. I have here with me Jay Beidler, the applicant for the matter, and Mark Pelletieri, the architect for the project.
For the applicant, this one to me appeared to be like you were trying to do the right thing and the contractor did you dirty.
Yes, actually, I would say that, so the initial inspections that we had along the way, saved us. So it was a good example of sort of the kind of government working, functioning as it should. So we noticed some sort of deficiencies in railing heights and other things that we wouldn't have noticed that the building inspectors caught, and sort of eventually that allowed us to dismiss them. Yeah, we were trying to do the right thing. The builder was not sort of up to the job, and they're out of business. No, so yeah, and then we didn't obviously know about this until we filed this application.
Sure. All right, do both of you affirm that the materials submitted for this matter are still true and correct?
Yes.
Okay, those materials will be admitted into the record, which includes the name of that contractor. And are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you all for your service.
Next case, 478-24S, 1054 North Ashley.
Okay, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Counselor, brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
Sure. Good morning, Chairman, board members. My name is Ali Fadai. I'm with Chuag and Texan Law Firm, Chicago. To my right is the applicant, Ms. Wayne, and to my left is our expert witness, Mr. Joseph Ryan. And Ms. Wayne is seeking a special use to establish a nail salon in a B12 community shopping district. She'll be operating from the storefront that you see right there. It's approximately 1,600 square feet. She'll employ about 3 to 4 employees when she opens. Currently she has another store. She's looking to move into this one, this bigger space, which another store is a few blocks away that will be closing down. She'll be a tenant at this premises, pursuant to a 5-year lease with a few options to extend the term. She's been in the field for over 10 years and and she'll be seeing about 20 clients per day between her and the employees that she will have.
Okay. The board recognizes Mr. Ryan's expertise.
Okay.
For the witnesses, do both of you affirm that the materials submitted for this matter are still true and correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Those materials are admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next two cases, 479-24Z 3013 North Normandy and 480-24Z 3015 North Normandy.
I also forgot to mention for 478-24S, there is a recommendation of approval by the Department of Planning and Development. Everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
I do.
Thank you. Counselor, brief overview, and if you could introduce your witness.
Sure. Chairman again, Fred Augustine, on behalf of MK Construction Builders, Inc. They own the property at 3013 to 15 Normandy. Both lots are vacant. The applicant plans to redevelop the lots with 2 new single-family residences, with each home having 2-car garage. In order to do that home, we are seeking to reduce the front setback for both homes from the required 63.40 feet to 21 feet. That's for 3013 North Normandy. For 3015 North Normandy, we're seeking to reduce the front setback from 64.8 feet to 21 feet. Here with me this morning is Marcin Kyle. He's the president of MK Construction. Just a brief overview. The entire block, you have a range of front setbacks from as low as 9 feet all the way up to 88. And so these 2 lots, when you're calculating the front setback, the adjacent lot, you have to take into account the adjacent. So luckily for us, the homes for our adjacent lots are setback, one setback 81 feet, one setback 88 feet. So hence the city was requiring them to have a front setback of around 61 feet. That's undoable to build a home. If anything, they'll encroach now into the rear setback, then we have a rear setback issue. So that's our hardship. We're proposing a 21-foot front setback. If you were to take into account the majority of the homes, we provide a block site plan. 10 out of the 15 homes setbacks are either 20 feet or 21. So I believe we're within there. So with that, we're here to answer any questions.
Sure. The applicant, do you affirm that the materials submitted for this matter are still true and correct?
That's good.
Great. Those materials are admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board?
No.
We'll take this matter under advisement.
Thank you.
It's case 4124S 6948 to 50 South Stony Island.
Everybody take a peek. I see that.
You can be right there.
Your last, that's the last case, they're gonna be last. Yeah, they're.
Yeah, we're off. Everybody just move up.
Yeah.
Back there.
Here?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
Okay. No, not for this one. Okay, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
I do.
Thank you. The board recognizes Mr. Ryan's expertise. Counselor, if you could provide a brief overview of this matter and introduce your witnesses.
Yes, Chairman, members of the board. My name is Ashley Brand with the law firm Tucker Ellis. This is an application to bring South Shore its first dispensary. I have with me today Ms. Edie Moore, Boris Cubis, our architect, Dan Farrell, our security expert, sorry, and Joe Ryan, our appraiser.
Actually, first, I've got in my hand a recommendation from the Department of Planning and Development for calendar number 48124S that does recommend approval of the proposed adult use cannabis dispensary. Do the witnesses affirm that the materials submitted for this matter are still true and correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Those materials are admitted into the record. Are there any questions from the board? We'll take this matter under advisement.
Thank you very much.
Going slightly out of order, case 4324S 6000 West Hill.
Nice.
Thank you.
Brand.
6000 West Belmont.
Yeah. So that's what has.
Wait, what are we doing? That's not approved.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Sugar.
You're going over there.
All right, would everyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Counselor, if you could provide a brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. My name is Paul Hobeck. To my far right, Mr. Bruce Ware, our expert witness. To my immediate right, Mr. Dean Klein, representative of Starbucks, the applicant. To my left, Mr. Javier Milan, who is our traffic study. To his left, Mr. Scott Shute, our architect, and to his left, our property owner.
And an overview of this matter?
Starbucks and the property owner GMX LLC is seeking approval of special use application in order to permit a drive-through facility to serve a proposed new one-story restaurant, Starbucks, in a B31 commercial shopping district in the Dunning community. The property is approximately 29,989 square feet, improved with an existing 24,150 foot one-story brick building with vacancies in need of repair. We propose to demolish the existing improvement in order to construct a new 2,228 square foot one-story brick restaurant with a single lane drive-through facility. Nothing further.
Sure. For the applicant's witnesses, do all of you affirm that the materials submitted for this application are still true and correct?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, and the board does recognize Mr. Musweir's expertise. I have, the material submitted for this application will be admitted into the record. I have a recommendation from the Department of Planning and Development for calendar number 48324S that does recommend approval of the proposed drive-through. Are there? Oh, that's right. Yes. Do we have someone here from KLOA?
Yes, right.
Okay, sir, could you state your name for the record again?
Yes, absolutely. My name is Javier Milan, Javier, M as in Michael, ILLAN.
Okay, and the reason that I just wanted to single you out is because I noticed that you did not sign the 1-109 verification for your report.
Correct.
But do you affirm under penalty of perjury that the report that you submitted is true and accurate in this matter to the best of your knowledge and belief?
I do.
Okay. And I will note for the record that there were some people who had filled out the interested party form, but they are not here, I believe. Are there any objectors here on this matter? No, they're not here. Okay. With that, are there any questions from the board? Go ahead.
So I couldn't tell exactly from the drawing, but how close is the location of the speaker for ordering to the nearest residential building?
It's about 26 feet from the border board to the property line.
And is there any noise?
There will be a fence along the alley, and then we will of course have the 16-foot alley there that's existing.
Oh. And the residences that's close by, is that 1-story, 2-story? You know, I mean, is it all the unit or single
Answer
family?
to that.
What I'm really asking for, the issue for me always is noise from when you're going back and forth and when you're close to residences. So if it's a multi-unit building, the noise goes up, it's much louder. So that's why I'm asking you about that.
Most are single family.
Okay, that was, thank you.
Any other questions from the board?
Just to clarify your question, ma'am, the location of the order point is, if you look at the northeast corner of the building and go diagonal, that little small rectangle, that's the actual location.
Yes. Yeah, okay. And then on the other side of the drive is
It's an alley and then beyond that,
but
the
before
aerial, you
alley,
can pull the aerial.
Is that,
Assembly of God.
Assembly Cat Church.
no, right there, is it?
This section here?
Yeah, what is that?
That's our property.
Is it landscaping?
Yeah,
Oh,
so it's
okay.
approximately 42 feet
Yeah,
to the lot line of the
right,
people to the.
right, and before you get to this landscape. Thank you. Thanks for the clarification.
All right, thank you very much. We will take this matter under advisement.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, I was like.
Hey, thank you.
Last case for the morning.
Sure.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
48224S 8907 through 23 South Ashland Avenue.
This one is.
This one's got objectives, yeah.
If we have applicants and their parties all over here, any applicant will be over here. Oh, okay. Right here. Okay, so applicants and their party.
Brian, make sure that we really, introduce ourselves, especially when people go down the road and spout out something,
Sure, sure.
thinking down the road.
All right, would everyone planning to testify for this matter, for both the applicant's witnesses and the objectors, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in these proceedings?
I do.
Thank you very much. Oh, all right. All right, so this one is actually a contested hearing. It's the first one we've had this morning. So the way this will work is the applicant will make a brief opening statement, provide an overview of their application, and then the interested parties will make a brief statement summarizing their written testimony. Interested parties, objectors, will have the opportunity to ask questions to the applicant. Then the applicant may ask questions to the interested parties. We will then open the floor for non-party comment where members of the public may make brief statements in support of, opposition to, or register a neutral position to the application. Finally, the applicant will have the opportunity to respond and make a closing statement. The board can ask questions of any party at any time. With that, Counselor, if you, for the applicant, if you could provide a brief overview and introduce your witnesses.
Thank you. My name is Mariah DeGrino with DLA Piper. We are the attorneys for the applicant in this matter, Unity Parenting and Counseling. I'm joined by, to my left, Marvin Jackson with Unity Parenting, Ryan Hudson, the project architect, George Kitzel, the land planner, Meredith Muir from the city's Department of Housing, Kimberly Howard from the city's Department of Family and Support Services. The applicant is a tax-exempt 501c3 charity, an established provider of a wide range of family support services, including immediate and transitional shelter and related wraparound assistance for unhoused youth on Chicago's South Side. The applicant is also a child welfare agency licensed by the Illinois Department of Children and Family Service and is accredited by the Nonprofit Council on Accreditation, a leading standard of excellence among human services organizations. The applicant operates 6 homeless centers throughout the South Side and offers 9 programs dedicated to youth aged 18 to 24. The proposal today is for the applicant to repurpose an existing 2-story motel building at the subject property as a non-congregate shelter for young adults aged 18 to 24. Non-congregate meaning each individual will have their own room. The shelter will include 26 non-congregate shelter units, including 2 ADA-compliant units. Each unit is designed to function as a single occupancy independent living space and includes a full bathroom. The shelter will feature common kitchen, laundry, and multi-purpose spaces, as well as outdoor recreation areas. The applicant seeks approval of a special use for the property as a transitional shelter. The existing building is a 2-story masonry building currently occupied by a motel. The property is zoned C2-2 motor vehicle related commercial district with a net site area of approximately 20,082 square feet. I'm happy to go into further detail, question the witnesses, or if you want to keep it short form.
No, I think what we'll do is if you could just introduce your witnesses by name and role at this point.
Absolutely. I'll first provide a little further background that the proposal is contemplated as part of a public-private partnership with the city of Chicago to increase the number of non-congregate shelter units in the city. Specifically, the applicant has been awarded a grant under an initiative led by the city's Department of Housing to expand non-congregate shelter capacity in Chicago, as opposed to congregate shelter settings that hold a large number of beds in one space, such as a gymnasium. Non-congregate units function as separate rooms hosting 1 to 3 individuals. In this case, it would be the Department of Housing has selected Unity as a grant recipient under the organization, given the organization's qualifications and readiness to undertake the project. The Department of Housing has prioritized the creation of non-congregate units because they afford shelter clients a greater sense of independence, dignity, and safety. In addition, non-congregate settings are linked to increased rates of engagement with support services and higher rates of obtaining permanent housing. I will first turn to Meredith Muir. Meredith, if you could please state your name and title for the record.
Yes, good morning. My name is Meredith Mueller. I'm the Chicago Recovery Plan Program Manager for the City of Chicago's Department of Housing.
Has the Department of Housing submitted a letter of support in connection with this application?
Yes.
Actually, you don't need to, we have those materials. All you'll need to do is just have your witnesses introduce their names and their roles.
Perfect. Okay. Mr. Kissel, if you could please state your name and role for the record.
Sure. My name is George Kissel. We are the planning consultant on the project.
See you down at the far end. Kimberly, if you could please state your name and role for the record.
Sure. Hi, Kimberly Howard. I'm a director with the Homeless Services Division at the Department of Family and Support Services.
And Mr. Hudson, if you could please state your name and role for the record.
Brian Hudson, architect, Beehive L3C.
And last but not least, Marve, if you could please state your name and role for the record.
Marve Jackson, interim CEO of Unity Parenting Council.
Okay, I have in my hand a recommendation from the Department of Plan and Development that I'm gonna read into the record, and then I have a question for the applicant's witness. This is the recommendation for counter number 48224S. It says the Department of Planning and Development recommends approval to establish a proposed transitional shelter with 26 single occupancy rooms serving young adults aged 18 to 24 with 6 automobile parking spaces, provided 1 special use is issued solely to the applicant, Unity Parenting and Counseling, Inc. 2, the development is consistent with the design and layout of the plans and drawings dated November 7, 2024, prepared by Beehive. 3, the facility is exclusively utilized as transitional shelter, inclusive of the ancillary support services for their residents. And 4, there are no more than 26 young adult clients aged 18 to 24 residing on site at any time. And the question I have for the applicant's witness is, will you agree to be bound by those conditions?
Yes.
Okay. For the applicant's witnesses, do all of you swear and affirm that the materials submitted in this matter are still true and correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the applicant's witnesses at this time? Okay. Okay, all right, we're gonna turn now to the opposition. And maybe I'll just start on my far right, and unless, is there somebody who wants to go first? No, okay, I'll start on the far right. If could you state your name and address for the record, please?
Sure. First name is Gina, Gina. Last name is Mack, Mack. My address is 8949 South Justine Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60620.
Okay, and the address of 8949 South Justine, do you own that property?
I do.
Okay,
The 3 flat.
okay. Did you submit any written objection for this matter?
Did not.
Okay.
I didn't know that I could. I just received this email and it drew me to come here in regards to what I believe is something totally improper in our neighborhood. So
Okay, and so why don't you go ahead and tell us what the objection is?
my objection is, sir, I've owned my 3 flat building for, 19 years. Watch, for 19 years, and I didn't purchase my property to live in the backyard of a shelter, of any type of shelter. I know that it's gonna decrease my property value. Everyone in our neighborhood that owns their homes, their businesses and et cetera, they're gonna take a hit in regards to the shelter coming to our neighborhood. Safety wise, financially, resources. We are an at-risk neighborhood right now, speaking, without a shelter being included in our neighborhood. Okay, we don't have enough police services. We don't have enough fire services. We don't have enough city services. So for something to come in a magnitude this size, to draw and suck up the services that we are having, to make our neighborhood more unsafer than what it is already. As I hear our mayor say all the time, Brandon Johnson, how is this shelter gonna make our neighborhood better, safer, and stronger? That's a question I would have for your applicants. Sir, the process that was initiated to build this shelter or to ask for a special use permit, we don't know anything in regards to Unity. I live a stone throw away. No one ever came on our block, distributed any flyers, any notification. I received a notification from the law office because my home, unfortunately, is within that perimeter of the 250 feet. That's how I was notified. Once I was notified, I immediately called my alderman's office, which is Ronald Mosley, 21st Ward. I spoke to a representative there by the name of James, and he totally dismissed me as a female that wants to complain about something. And how could you complain about youth having housing? And I just told him, sir, you don't have the right or the authority to tell me how I should feel. You don't pay any of my bills, my property tax, my mortgage, or anything of that nature. Please don't dismiss me or disrespect me in that manner.
Do you have any questions for the
I
applicants?
certainly do.
Okay,
I certainly do. With this being a hotel currently in our neighborhood, why did you select our neighborhood and this particular hotel to want to build teen or young people family transitional shelter? Why were we selected
we can answer about the availability of the property. Meredith, I'll first turn to you as the city. I don't know if you had a role in the identification of the neighborhood itself as being a neighborhood in need of the non-congregate shelter. The city has a perspective on that. I can ask Marve to speak to maybe the acquisition process. The property was made available for sale. The current owner is no longer going to be operating it as a motel and put it up for sale. So would that be an appropriate order?
Sure.
Meredith, would you like to speak to kind of the neighborhood need?
Sure, I can speak to the sort of types of properties that we looked for this program. Maybe Kim from the FSS can speak to the need for shelter from the Family and Support Services side. With this program and the lessons learned on moving more of the shelter system into non-congregate settings, and the benefits that has for young people. Through the RFP that DOH put out, we worked with grantees to find sites that could be easily adapted into non-congregate shelter. Buildings like this that are motels with individual sleeping rooms already set up with individual bathrooms are really great candidates for this conversion. And so the city looked at properties across the city that could be good fits. For context, we have 5 grantee finalists that we're working with in this program. They have 5, I'm sorry, grantee finalists.
Thank you.
That have identified and are in the middle of the process to acquire and rehab buildings from the far north side to down to this property, so spanning the breadth of the city in different community areas. I will let Kim know the need for shelter across the breadth of the city.
Sure. So the Department of Family and Support Services funds homeless shelters across the entire city to meet the needs of people experiencing homelessness, which includes families with children, single adults, survivors of domestic violence, and one of our specialized populations is youth aged 18 to 24. Overall, we fund shelter programs at over 45 locations across the city that's spread out between 23 wards. Unity is one of our existing shelter providers that serves youth age 18 to 24, and they're our only provider on the south side of the city dedicated to serving youth. So we're very much interested in keeping capacity and improving the capacity that we have to offer to youth on the south side.
Marve, if you want to speak to the circumstances of this particular property, the sellers, what you know of the seller's intent, and sort of that, just to encapsulate that transaction.
When we looked at the properties that was provided to us, we really absolutely love the location in 89th and Ashland. It had the best structure for what we wanted to do, one way in, one way out in terms of security. And so that was the property that we felt would better serve as we move to a non-congregate setting. My understanding is that the individual that has who's selling the property and moving out of the country and no longer wants to operate the motel. So it was just a perfect marriage for what we needed to do as we move our program forward.
Do you have any other questions?
Yes.
Go
Out
ahead.
of the 5 properties that were selected. Out of the five properties that were selected, how many of those 5 would you have to come to this zoning board to have the zoning changed?
Can I ask for a relevancy, make a relevancy objection? I'm not sure what the relevancy of that question
The
is.
relevancy is, I would like to know, again, sir, my question was, how is this property, this shelter gonna make our neighborhood better, safer, and stronger? And why were we selected? That was my question. So my follow-up question again is, how,
We have
out of
answered
the
the
5
question
properties that
she
were
asked.
selected, how many of those 5 properties are you gonna have to come to the zone to change zoning to fit the shelter into those 5 properties? Since the budget motel, one of those properties happens to be in my
Sure,
neighborhood.
so I'll, to the extent a transitional shelter is being proposed, they would need to come before us for approval for any property. With regard to other properties that they might have looked at, though, those are not relevant to this matter. This matter is about the property that we're here for. And the fact that they could have selected a different property is not really relevant. The question is this property and whether it's right for this property. Do you have any other questions you would like to ask?
this. But I appreciate that answer. In regards to, security, how do you plan to secure this property?
Ms. Jackson, if you could please speak to the staffing program that you have at the site, connects for the site, including the security officers, as well as the training that our staff will receive, be on site will receive.
The facility will be staffed with a trained security guard at all times. And all Unity staff, is trained in de-escalation. So there'll be a total of 3 people on, 2 staff members plus a trained security guard at all times.
So you're gonna have 1 security personnel and 2 staff personnel to act as security for 26 young people?
Correct?
And you think that's adequate, ma'am?
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
The board, I don't believe that that's adequate for 26 young people. I'm a mother of 6, and, I find it's very difficult to monitor 6 children, let alone 26 young adults that can have freedom to move about the city as they like. They're over the age of 18. So you telling me 1 security person and 2 staff personnel, that's alarming, ma'am. That's alarming in itself. I'll move forward.
Can I interject real quick, just along those lines? I believe you mentioned you guys operate other facilities throughout the city. So can you speak to kind of your staffing levels at those?
We actually have the same staff levels there. We don't have trained security guards at the current location. So this would be an addition to what we currently have.
Would it be improper for me to ask about the security that they have at their other properties and some of the challenges maybe they have faced?
You can ask, I'll allow that question.
That is my question in regards to the other properties that you have, and you have a minimal amount of security. Some of the issues or challenges that you've been faced with security as far as, any behavior, any, improper behavior.
Do you want to speak to maybe, you are subject to accreditation, to oversight from various organizations related to the services that you provide. Has there been any disciplinary action by those organizations against youth parenting?
There has been no disciplinary actions against from other organizations against Unity Parenting Counseling. Is there ever issues within any of our other facilities? You know, again, we're dealing with a very vulnerable population, so we do have tons of support services when we do have any issues that ever arise.
So can you tell me about can you tell me about how many times you had to contact the police department for services?
I do not have that data in front of me.
Would you say it'd be more than 5?
Yes.
Would you say it'd be more than 10?
Excuse me, let me get a clarification. More than 5 over what period of time, and how many facilities are we talking
long.
about? Can we get some specificity around some of these questions here?
Yeah.
I'll clarify it. Let's just say in a year's time, with the other shelters or properties that you manage, how many times have you had to call for police service?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
How many in this year span, correct?
Yeah.
Year. How many times have you had to call the police?
Maybe 5 times
Can you
How
tell
many
me?
facilities is that over?
in our different programs, about 9.
9 different programs. Do you know how many individuals are served during a year's time span by those programs?
Over 120 something.
And so you service 120 plus people, and in a year's time, you've had to contact the Chicago Police Department. I just assumed they're in Chicago.
Well, we have other.
She said 5 times.
I'm just assuming the properties that you're speaking of are in Chicago.
For the properties that you service
Correct.
in Chicago, yes.
Okay, and you've only had to contact the police 5 times in
That's
a
what she
year's
said.
time, over 5 properties.
That's what she said.
I'll research that as well. Now, this building, the Budget Hotel building, you said it was up for sale. And you said this would be a perfect marriage. You guys talking?
If you wouldn't mind, yes.
So,
Thank you.
but, you said this would be a perfect marriage. for you to take this property and make it a, transitional shelter because the property is up for sale and the owner of the property wants to leave the country.
That's what she said.
Is that
Yes,
right?
that's what she said.
All right. My question is, since you believe that this is such a good marriage, and the community, few members here, other members that wanted to come today, we don't believe that that is such a good marriage, a good fit. We believe that if you were going to work with us and as a community, working together for something, we were never properly notified of the shelter even coming into our neighborhood. We being a stone throw away, we never received a flyer in our mailbox. We never received a door knock to say, you know, this is a thought process here. We're coming in now and what I'm, you know, this, in my mind, I believe this is a David and Goliath type of battle. I believe, I've been made to believe with the artist sketches, diagrams that we're basically just being ramrodded by this shelter coming into our community. We weren't offered any input in regards to the shelter coming. So, I don't believe that it's a good fit. I don't believe it's gonna make our neighborhood better, safer, stronger. If you're only gonna have 26 young people and one security officer and 2 staff personnel to monitor them 24 hours, 7 days a week, I can't pack up my building like I wish I could and move it away from this location. So basically, we're just sitting ducks. We're sitting ducks. We can't go anywhere. We can't move anywhere. Our children are in the neighborhood. You've seen on the diagram, it's a bus stop right outside the shelter. You have people that will be taking the bus to and from. You have a metro station you saw on the diagram right around the corner, a stone's throw away. You have a public school, which is Fort Dearborn School. You have a library, which is Fort Dearborn Library. All these places, people in our community access these places. You have several businesses up and down Ashland Boulevard. I would just wonder, you know, I don't want to chime in, but she's a business owner and she'll have her opportunity to speak as well, but we just don't believe that this is the right fit for our community, our neighborhood. We don't believe that you're offering the proper security to control or to contain your clientele in the neighborhood. We view this as a disrespect to the community. You know, it's a marriage for you, it's a divorce for me. Secondly, I would like to be on the record in saying more of my neighbors did want to come, but the hearing, a lot of my neighbors couldn't get off today. I have letters, emailed from my neighbors that wanted to come today. And we would like to ask the board for a secondary hearing in regards to this matter so we can bring more neighbors so that they can share their input. We have an older community, seniors in our community, and this is directly going to affect seniors. My mother's 85 years old. She lives in my property with me. I have a host of grandsons that are 5.
All right, let me just jump in, on the question of a request for a continuance, that, request is denied. The applicant did comply with all of the legal requirements for notice for this matter. And so it is going to be heard today as it is being heard today, and a decision will be made later today. So that request is denied. Do you have anything else?
I want to know about the zoning. I saw in some of those diagrams, a red and white sign, a notice posted in front of the hotel. That was never done at that hotel for zoning. Is that the proper procedure?
Someone want to address the notice, sign?
That was done, and we provided, evidence in that.
Yeah, There is an affidavit, of posting of the notice in the record.
Where was it posted? Where was it?
We were directed by ZBA
Can you
staff.
state your name and for the record?
I'm sorry, my name is Peter Nicastro. I'm counsel in this matter with Gillett Piper. We followed staff directives to post the sign in the public lobby facing the courtyard parking lot because there are not exterior windows fashioned in this property. Posted picture and ZBA staff to get that place properly.
Courtyard, when do we say? Okay, who's talking?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, you're not, it's not your turn yet. We're still with Miss Mack.
Can you have that diagram pulled back up for the budget hotel, please? The front of the building, yeah, right there, that's the front of the building. So you're telling me you posted the zoning sign inside the hotel where residents would have to go actually inside the hotel to actually view the zoning sign? Because it isn't on the Ashland, it's not there.
It's, I think what council had said was, it was because there's no exterior window facing on Ashland, which is
There's
why.
windows right there, ma'am. I'm looking at
Those are, I
windows.
think,
I'm looking at 4 windows there
those are units.
and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right,
There-
those
there's
are
a-
those are unit windows is the issue.
unit windows,
Yeah, for units of the, inside the motel.
and it couldn't be affixed to the actual top of the, hotel, that doorway where you see all that other signage that says clearance and the banners and et cetera.
It's not consistent with the.
So for the neighborhood to know about the zoning, you would have to go into the hotel. You would have to go into the courtyard of the hotel, because you're not staying overnight, you're not renting a room. And that's the only way that you would find out about the zoning, because the signage isn't visible for the public.
Chairman, if I
That's
can interject,
almost
I
hidden.
believe the witness has testified that she was aware of the application, she's received several forms of notice
No,
of
no,
the
no.
application. And so I'm not sure the relevancy of her particular testimony.
Well, so
The relevancy is the signage that's not there. It's not there, it's not there, it's not readily.
your objection
available.
is noted for the record.
Okay.
You can move on to your next point if you have one.
Okay, our neighborhood is currently zoned, this hotel is currently zoned for hotel uses only. We have a residential neighborhood that's right on the other side of this hotel. We would like to keep our neighborhood as a residential area. If this hotel owner here can't make his business work as a hotel, then he should be provided the opportunity to sell his hotel and let someone else come into our neighborhood and provide economic development for our neighbors so they can get jobs as working in the hotel versus it changing the structure or the model of our neighborhood into a transitional shelter, something that a lot of people do not want. Oh, put that courtyard back up there, ma'am, so people can see where this sign possibly was posted at and how you would have to come actually into the hotel to where the office or wherever they posted it at. And you can be able to have knowledge of what's going on in your neighborhood. So again, I just want to be on the record with saying, I think this is a bad, decision to make. I don't support it. Many of my neighbors don't support it. They couldn't be here, but I'm here and I'm asking you as the zoning board to please help support my community. Keep my community safer, stronger, make it better. Have this hotel to be sold as a hotel, add economic development into our neighborhood and keep our neighborhood safe for us. There's many other structures that are available in the city for shelters for young people to live, to stay, but please help them to stay out of our community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's go to the next person to your right. Could you state your name and address for the record, please?
My name is Laverne Kingston, 8853 South Ash, directly across the street.
And are you an owner of the property at 8858 South Ashland?
Yes.
Okay. And with regard to your objection, we've heard about security, we've heard about notice, we've heard about wanting another business to be in there, that it's not compatible with the neighborhood. Do you have anything additional to add? The point being that you can say that you have agreed with everything that Ms. Mack says, and then is there anything additional, any additional objections that you would like to add?
Yeah, I do agree with them. Age 18 to 24 years old, you guys will be ready for sex offenders. And there will not be no background check on sex offenders, but you guys said it's homeless shelter for everyone, I guess. And sex offenders will be another. I told you that. Could you speak up, please?
Oh yeah, just, it's for the court reporter. You just have to keep your voice up.
Totally agree with everything she said, and that one objection is the sex offenders. I have an issue with that. Ages 18 to 24, I don't care what age it was, honestly, but just the age is, you know, that's a young group. We have, older people in the neighborhood. The business will definitely decline, I feel. Leaving your property. No one wants to be more alarmed on what's going on directly across the street. No one would want to come. I would want to come to a business that has a homeless shelter next to it. It would just decrease, I feel, my revenue for my business.
Okay. Did you have any questions for,
Sex offenders.
what's the question?
They will be letting sex offenders in that property.
That's a statement, not a question.
Will be letting sex offenders.
How I would propose we address that is, the city, Kimberly, speak to the city's objectives with a low barrier to entry housing model. Meredith can speak to some data around the number of sex offenders within the population within this region that we potentially be talking about here. And then I can have Ms. Jackson speak again to the high degree of security. I think you've heard all of that.
Yeah,
testimony,
we
so-
won't need that
Okay.
security issue, but if we could just maybe
But before we
specifically
get
about.
there, I would just like to kind of expose the inherent presumption in the question, which is that homeless youth from 18 to 24 are somehow dangerous or have a propensity to be sex offenders. The motel that's there today has no restrictions, no screening process whatsoever. The neighborhood around it.
So
not,
let me
so-
just jump in. This board clearly recognizes the lack of foundation with regard to the
Thank
question.
you.
But we'll
I just
at
want to say
least-
it for the record.
yes, no,
You
the-
have Kimberly. and Meredith.
I see that as a foundational objection to the question, which I acknowledge. And really what I would just like your witnesses to speak about is the type of clientele that would be coming to these transitional shelters and how they're selected.
And before you do that, I do just want to say, because I have said it every time we've had one of these, that I do really encourage objectors to be careful about characterizing the unhoused community. I say it at every single one. Just as a Black woman, I wouldn't want somebody to do a pre-characteristic stereotype of Black people. I just ask that you do the same, understanding the sensitivity that all of you have, but these are sensitive topics. And I think all of us probably relate in a way of stereotypical comments. So I just encourage you to be very careful about that. And, you know, I'm not minimizing your thoughts, but I just want us all to be very sensitive to that, because this is a very sensitive situation for everybody involved. And I'm just being consistent. I say that every single time we have a shelter, so.
So specifically, the population, sure, Kimberly Howard.
Okay.
So, DFSS sort of sets citywide policy, that homeless shelters should follow across the city. We absolutely encourage low barrier policies, which basically means, allowing someone to have a safe place to stay without repercussions. So, the folks who would be served, by the shelter would be youth between the ages of 18 to 24. There's of course, a wide variety of experiences and backgrounds that folks bring in that age range, and traditionally what we've seen in the homeless shelter system. is the vast majority of those folks are Black or African American, slightly higher percentage of men and women. But particularly among our youth population, there's overrepresentation of people identifying as LGBTQ+. But overall, you know, the backgrounds, experiences vary, and we ask our shelter programs to treat each person as an individual and support them in their success, in their sort of next steps in moving to housing.
Just in terms of data from the Chicago's database of people on the sex offender registry, there are over 3,600 people on that registry in the city of Chicago. Of that number, the total number of people on the registry who are under 25 is 20. And the total number of people on that registry who are under 25 and registered as homeless is 3, which is less than 0.1% of the population.
Okay, so I have no objections with you guys doing a homeless shelter, but just not in that area. I would also like to ask the question, what is the mental health percentage will be located there?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
People with mental disabilities, mental health.
You're asking what percentage of the population would have mental health issues?
Yes.
So again, I'll raise the foundation issue.
Yeah. I mean, do you even have data on that? No, it's,
Absolutely.
yeah, maybe, yeah, I think, you know, let's flip the question, and talk about the types of supports that are provided by these shelters.
Would you like to take that and we can have Ms. Jackson?
Yeah, I think Robbie can speak. So, sort of citywide, of course, we encourage, you know, shelter programs to provide on-site supportive services, for youth to meet a variety of needs. So often that's helping with education, with employment, you know, their sort of self-driven goals. Of course, the ultimate goal being, you know, finding safe and stable housing, so that they can exit, shelter sort of as quickly as they're able. But a key part of that is also, healthcare. And so, that includes primary health, it includes behavioral health, mental health. And so across the city, DFSS actually has a partnership with the Chicago Department of Public Health, where they fund what is called lead coordinating organizations who manage partnerships so that every shelter has a healthcare provider, who can, you know, come on site regularly, meet with clients, address sort of any needs, do referrals to other community resources as needed. But yeah, I'll let Marvin speak specifically to community partnerships.
Pretty much everything you said, I was gonna say some of that, but the part I wanna say is that our program is a very intentional program. So you're not gonna have individuals in their room all day, right? They have a day they have to come downstairs by 9 o'clock and be in the community room, and that's when they get the services. You know, we're teaching how to do a resume. They need to get a link card, or we work with them, whatever they need to do to be successful. And that is screening, you know, it's providing medical basic needs they may need. So all day they will be in an intentional program. They're not roaming the neighborhood, right? They will be downstairs getting services, because our goal is to have these unhoused youth, who most of them are unhoused not because of something they did, right? To actually be successful citizens and giving them programs and services. We know that if you take a homeless person off the street, and you don't give them resources or services or programs to teach them how to be successful, they will end up back on the street. So we're teaching them how to properly clean their rooms, and we're teaching them how to get a bank account and how to budget. So all those things happen in the services so that they don't ever have to come back to the shelter. They can be valuable citizens wherever they go. And so that's the point of this. And so, yeah, we have partnerships with pretty much every organization in Chicago providing these services for these youth.
What is the curfew for these individuals?
10 p.m.
And how long is the transition? So once they're into the program, how long do you guys keep per individual?
I'm so sorry.
If you come to the program, how long does the program last? What's the length of time? Is it 10 months, 1 year? 6 months?
Everybody's different. It depends on the individual and what we're working on with them. So they age out at 24. But depending on the person and every situation, that's, no person is the same. So there's not a time period, where you're gonna be here for 3 months and you're gonna be here for 6 months. It's everyone do, like, you know, when you have in a school, when you have an IEP for a person, everybody is different what they need to do.
Do you have any other questions? Okay. Sir, could you state your name and address for the record, please?
Name is Richard Langston, Langston.
Okay.
Address is 8858 South Ashland.
Are you also an owner of that property? Okay, okay,
I have a property as well.
okay. And then do you have anything new to add? You can certainly say that you agree with the objections of Miss Mack and Miss Langston. And now we would be looking for anything new.
Yes, I definitely agree with Mrs. Bank and Mrs. Langston, definitely. My issue is definitely to, you have a situation where there's economic development in that neighborhood. I'm not against shelters. Shelters are needed, but that area is definitely not the place for it. Seeing is that it's already having issues with crime, you know, and robberies and things of that nature. I'm a witness to it. A car was vandalized in front of our property. A car was stolen in front of our property as well. That neighborhood is already struggling business-wise. So we already don't need anything else to defer that happening already. So my thing is that we issue this decision, for a hotel. It can still be a hotel, but a shelter for me in that neighborhood would not serve that community properly. Now, the Unity Company, it seems like they're doing things in good faith. But the reviews that I've seen, they have a 1.8 rating as far as reviews of people that have actually done business with this company. And it's not very good. It's, to me, it's literally as horror stories, you know, out there from 3 months ago to a year ago. I'm not gonna get into, you know, what we.
Hearsay, yeah, it's,
That's
yeah.
fine, that's fine, you know, but, you know, that's, you know, neither here or there, but, my point is that, you know, like I said, I agree with those, with my, constituents here and, you know, want to keep it all.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Sir, are you also here in objection?
Yes,
Okay, could you state your name and address, please?
Julius Downey, 8949 South Justin.
Okay, and you, are you an owner of that property?
No, I'm with you.
I'm sorry? Oh, okay. All right, so since you're not an owner of the property, we do have a difference between interested parties and public comment. So you are able to make a public comment at this time. You can say that you agree with the prior statements, and if you have anything to add, you can add it. You just don't have the cross-examination ability that interested parties do.
I understand that. Here's the situation, and that is that my first concern is transparency as to knowing who is actually at that location, okay? Next thing is I totally agree with them about security, and to even think that we're even entertaining something like that, knowing that one person and then the de-escalation is not gonna happen. Where the concern is that you have an enclosed environment where right now on the streets of Chicago, they're doing donuts and spinning around and tearing up communities and this and that, et cetera, et cetera. And this is outside of that area. Now you're going to enclose them, okay? Another thing is you have situations whereas, yes, there's a curfew, this and that, et cetera, but What's to stop them from having multiple people in the rooms, et cetera, overnighting, blah, blah, blah? What's to stop them from having one heck of a party in the lot? And then my real concern is marijuana is legal. Will it be legal at this location? Because there are places that you're not allowed to carry a gun, be under the influence. What checks and balances are in place to ensure this lovely thing that they're painting to even exist? Okay, because we already know that it's not going to exist. And my first thing is how am I going to hold you all accountable for this beautiful picture that's painted? Well, we obviously know that that's not gonna happen. And once again, they've said numerous times that this is an elderly community. So the elderly community is just gonna be taken over. And can it be put in place on the record that if the residents are victimized by individuals here, can this place be immediately eliminated? Because it's gonna happen. There are no checks and balances on everything that you all have said, as much as I like, the concept, this and that, et cetera, et cetera. There's really no checks and balances on, you're talking about basically a young adult that's already having issues.
I'm going to object as to lack of foundation is for the assertion that young adults in this population have issues, that they have a propensity to engage in violence, have a propensity to engage in crimes. I'm happy to have the witness.
Sustained.
Thank you. Answer questions or describe the policies and procedures for visitors, some of the specifics that the
Yeah,
gentleman.
you can stop for the moment. Okay, sir, we've heard your public comment, and we're now going to move back to the applicant for very brief rebuttal and closing.
Of course, if I could just conduct a very brief cross-examination of Ms. Mack and Ms. Langston.
You
Very
can.
brief, I promise. Ms. Mack, you testified that you did receive notice in multiple forms. You waived part. You also received a letter from me, is that correct?
That is correct.
You also testified that you did speak to the alderman's office, is that
That is
correct?
correct.
James, I believe it
That
was.
is correct.
Did you also speak directly to the alderman?
I sure did.
Did you also attend a town hall meeting
I
where
sure
this was
did.
discussed?
Sure
Thank
did.
you. No further questions from Ms. Mack. Ms. Langston, can you please describe the property on Ashland that you own? It's a business, is that correct?
That is correct.
Is it a bar business? Is that
Yes, it is.
Do you know whether any of the patrons of the motel frequent your bar? You don't think any patrons from the motel frequent the bar? Where is the bar located in relationship to the motel?
Directly across the street.
Thank you. No further questions.
Any closing?
I would just like to, reiterate the comments I've made at the beginning of this. This is a very reputable organization. They have a track record of operating programs like this, as well as other types of programs serving unhoused youth with services in the city. They were specifically selected by the city based on this track record, their experience, and their readiness to undertake the project. As you've heard from the testimony, the location is optimal for this type of project. It provides the dignity, independence for the residents, gives them solid footing for the services. It actually promotes stability within the community, promotes the rate at which the individuals who the clients actually do seek and receive services. So I'm happy to refer to Mr. Kissel's testimony as well, or his affidavit, his planning.
It's already been admitted into the record.
And I have nothing further.
Okay, are there any questions from the board? All right, we will take this matter under.
Sorry, the alderman is here.
Oh, really? Oh, my gosh. I'm sorry, Alderman. Would you like to speak on this matter?
I would love to.
Yeah, if you could just introduce yourself and go ahead and speak.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm Ronnie Mosley. I have the distinct pleasure of serving as Alderman of the 21st Ward, where we are excited about this project. We're excited about it because let me tell you a little bit about the 21st Ward. Not only is it the largest ward in the city of Chicago, that is thus so because we are predominantly homeowners. We are single family homes. You can live in the 21st ward really by two ways. You own a home or you live there. And that is the housing security that we are looking to bring, as this ward is about to experience over $1 billion investment in just a short amount of time. So this is actually a part of our housing security plan that we have for the ward. With this, we are building a shelter for our youth. We are doing supportive housing with maximizing incomes of AMI levels at 30%. We are building multifamily units such as Morgan Park Commons that will be mixed income. We are doing affordable homes, building 20 homes with townhomes with Habitat for Humanity, working on our infields through the City Lots for Working Family program, even some more townhomes and custom luxury homes that will start at $800,000. We don't want that displacement that often follows the development. And so that's why it's so critical to have a project like this. I crunch my numbers every month. Every month, one of the top requests in my ward is shelter requests. Every month, it has not failed since I've taken office almost 2 years now. These are our folks who are suffering from being unhoused. When we look at the unhoused numbers in Chicago, overwhelmingly, it is Black people. And this ward is the largest population of Black people. But there aren't often opportunities of where this community, my community, can go to be housed. It was very touching at one of our community meetings to hear someone who experienced homelessness and said that I would have to travel way up north and try to make it back by curfew, even though my family or friends or jobs were on the south side. This location, which has had its troubles of its own, there's been multiple litany of service calls from CPD to this location. There's been a homeless story that is well known about a mother and her 2 daughters that sleep right outside of this hotel at the bus stop. This transforms that problem with a literal solution. And so we are excited about it. When you talk about the transit access, the 9 Ashland bus that can take you almost anywhere throughout the city. The Metro line, again, stones away, that can take you beyond the city. We have wraparound services and resources that are in close proximity. Brainerd Park Library. We are building a community center, 87 and right west of Racine. There are a lot of services and retail opportunities that provide the entry-level jobs, whether you're talking about the Jewel, Osco, and 95th and Ashland. Again, you can hop on the bus or walk down to 95th Street and work there. All the fast food industries that are there, the gas station that's 2 blocks away from this and so forth. I can't express how much giving opportunities to folks in our communities who at times are discounted and counted out. This, unfortunately, is portrayed as a luxury for folks who are suffering from being unhoused. The fact that you can, at the end of your day, no matter what your troubles are, go into a room that you have your own walls and close the door and have a moment to decompress and be ready to take on tomorrow challenges. That's the dignity that everyone deserves in housing. And so we are proud to have this in the 21st ward. I'm not too sure. I've heard some questions around how was this publicized? Let me say again, we had last year a community meeting in which I personally sent out text and robocalls to over 23,000 individuals, some that did not even live in my when Ms. Mack came to my town hall meetings, I do a monthly town hall meeting from January to October, every 4th Saturday of the month, 9:30 a.m., Woodson Library, same place, same time. And this has been an item, you can go to our website, aldmosley.com, look under Alderman Mosley, monthly town halls, and click the slides, and you can see the updates of this process. Last year, we started having an annual event of where we talk about all of the development that's happening in the board. This is one of the items, and Unity was there. Let me just take a moment to brag on Unity, because it is rare that you have a project that the board and the staff is made up of members who live in the very same community area that they're servicing. I said the only way this project can be better is making sure that the developers, the architects, or not the architects, but the laborers and construction folks who are doing this remodel and renovation are residents of the 21st Ward. That's the type of spirit that we're looking to bring to all of our developments throughout the ward. So I can't overstate how important this is to our ward, how important this is to Chicago, and the difference that it will make. My door is always open. In addition to those town hall meetings, in addition to those two community meetings and the open house development, every Monday from 2 to 7, I am in my office, open to anyone. It is first come, first served, and we do prioritize our senior veterans and disabled folks, but every Monday that is available. So if there are concerns that come up, there are folks who even want to, like they've already expressed, want to partner to see how to make this work even better. I'm offering an open door policy, as my door has always been open. This helps the 21st Ward thrive. This helps to maintain the residents and the community that when we talk about how beautiful it is, these are the folks who have been maintaining. And my community has been overwhelmingly in support of this. I can say that Ms. Mack was the only person that has reached out to me in opposition to this. I offered those same things. I connected her directly with my deputy chief of staff who handles my scheduling to set up a meeting. Fortunately, we didn't have a meeting. But one of the things that I heard from her was we need to have another community meeting. And I scheduled another community meeting just around that. We had community groups walk 4 blocks west of the hotel to place these on doors because my office can't afford melons. So the 21st Ward is again excited to welcome this. We've already been talking about partnerships of how, again, what's in our community, folks who want to help give these youth and folks who come the best opportunity going forward when they open those doors. So thank you, and I ask for your favorable consideration.
Thank you, Alderman Mosley. All right, with that, we are going to take this.
I'm again remiss, I should introduce the board members we have with us.
And say one more thing, sorry, I forgot. I also want to make sure that is noted that this is receiving support at multiple levels of government. So yes, it started with the city and the state, but also went and applied for a federal grant that we've been successful in. We're trying to figure out how our Cook County Commissioner or Cook County level can get involved, but each and every level of government has supported this idea because they see the need for housing in this particular area.
Thank you. The Alderman referenced residents of the 21st Ward that are behind this, and I do want to introduce, thank you, Constance Cullen and Marla Powers, who are board members of Unity and also residents of the 21st Ward.
Okay, thank you very much. Right.
May I say one thing?
No, you may not. No, you may not. We are going to take this matter under advisement. I want to thank everybody for your time and your comments. We'll take it under advisement. Thank you. All right. That was the last one.
You know, it's pretty budget.
Usually, yeah, I have it.
Budget, trying to get
Yes.
the door back and then we have
I move that we convene into closed session pursuant to section 2C4 of the Open Meetings Act for the purpose of considering the evidence and testimony presented in open session. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yeah.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller. I vote yes, we're in closed session.
Where are we doing it?
We're gonna go down to 10:03.
Everybody ready? All right. I move that we return to open session. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, and we are back. We will now vote. Note that any motion to approve a special use will be tied to the recommendations of the department and any additional conditions read by me. First, I move to approve all continuance requests to the dates stated by me. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yeah.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the continuances are approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 409-24Z and 410-24Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 446-24S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 447-24S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yeah.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 448-24S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 449-24S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 450-24Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 451-24S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 452-24S, 453-24Z, and 454-24Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 455-24Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller. I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 456-24S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 457-24S and 458-24S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 459-24S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 460-24S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 461-24Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 463-24Z, 464-24Z, and 465-24Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve applications for application for calendar number 466-24S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley. Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 467-24Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 471-24S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley. Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 472-24S, 473-24Z, and 474-24Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar numbers 475-24Z and 476-24Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I'm recused. The matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 47724Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 47824S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller. I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve applications for calendar number 47924Z and 48024Z. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matters are approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 48124S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 48224S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move to approve application for calendar number 48324S. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, the matter is approved. I move that we recess until 2 p.m. Commissioner Schiller seconds, Commissioner Staley.
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Soto.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiller.
Yes.
I vote yes, we're in recess until 2 p.m.
Right.
Thank you.